If you want to stop the reactivity and the defensiveness that's ruining your marriage, you don't need to change the pattern. You need to change the belief. This is the exact same process that I used with my client Clinton, who came to me. They were sleeping in separate beds. He'd been given a 9 to 12 month ultimatum from his wife: either change or I'm out. And he had tried years of therapy and counseling and kept repeating the same old patterns. But literally within 6 weeks, he said, I don't even feel the need to defend myself anymore. Like, not managed. It's just not there. Within 10 weeks, they were sleeping in the same bed again. And 12 weeks in, they're excitedly planning their new future and looking for a new home together. So here's how this works. All right, so what people usually do when they have these patterns is they'll maybe go to counseling or they'll go to therapy. And then what will usually happen is they'll help you to try and identify the pattern, where it comes from. Maybe they'll dig into your childhood or try to find out where this came from. Then they'll give you some tools, send you on your way, maybe talk about it a little bit longer. And these tools will work only as long as you are hyper-focused on implementing them. As long as you're hyper-focused on the behavior, on changing the way that you show up, then that'll be effective. But as soon as you get complacent, as soon as stress hits, as soon as just life takes over and you're not hyper-focused on this, then that trigger hits, and then you're right back to this same old pattern. And every time you do that, you break the trust in your marriage. You break the trust and the confidence within yourself to actually be able to change this. And it dents the marriage every single time. So this operates off the belief that change just requires the identification of the pattern and the willpower to do different in the moment. Here's what I do different. First of all, we need to regulate. Because it doesn't matter what tools you have, as long as when this trigger hits, you're operating from a place of fight or flight, these tools are not available because that trigger activates that survival mechanism, which is basically why it feels automatic. While that defensiveness, that reactiveness feels like it's not even a conscious choice. It just happens. So we need to regulate first. Then we're going to find the belief. So for Clinton, it was, if I am wrong, if I'm at fault, then as a husband, as a father, as a man, I'm a failure. I'm not good enough. She's going to leave me and all these bad things are going to happen. So, of course, to avoid that, he would defend and make sure that it wasn't his fault, that he could explain everything. He had a excuse for just about everything, ultimately pushing his wife away. But then once we found that belief, we need to just update that belief simply to say that that outcome is not going to happen. Now you have the resources as a capable adult to take ownership, to navigate these conversations, to actually hear some hard news and some hard truths and it not be the end of the marriage. And then once you've updated that belief, there's literally nothing left to defend. There's no defensiveness. There's no reactiveness. You can actually hear anything your wife is bringing to you. And that feeling to defend yourself, like you just have to get that last word in, you have to just clarify her facts, doesn't even come up. You can hear what she's saying and how she's feeling and know that it's not a personal attack. Because in this process, we operate true change long-term comes out of removing what's driving it, what's driving this behavior. That's why this process you can be stuck in for years and maybe not even break it at all. Maybe even lose your marriage in this process because you kill the trust through repeating it so many times. Versus in this process, like Clinton, actually find and update this belief within a matter of weeks and not even feel the defensiveness simply because there's nothing left to defend.